So, good morning or good afternoon, wherever you guys are in the world. My name is Green DeVoe. I was born and raised in the city of Chicago and in between the south suburbs. I'm currently based in Georgia, where I do research. I consider myself to be a pedagogue of some sort, although less strict and maybe like more fun. And one of the methodologies that I'm currently exploring is gaming, which personally for me has given me some very transformative experiences in my life. It's helped me improve my learning curve, confidence, and critical thinking skills in spite of the learning deficiencies that I dealt with since childhood. So I'm using this platform to talk about how there will always be more than one methodology in order for somebody to succeed towards their goals, and why it's essentially key to bridging the gap between neurotypicality and neurodivergence. I really do think the conflict and things that we experience in this life are way less complex than we think it is. And I'll be having a discussion with a special someone today around why I believe gaming is a solution-based platform. So, my incredible guest, she is a former coworker who eventually became a good friend of mine. She was one of many people that helped navigate others as well as myself through an ever fluctuating work environment that mostly thrived in chaos.
Oh yeah.
And in those moments of quiet, we shared a space of emotional support, talking about the things we had in common, which were games. She was the first person that I thought of in regards to this discussion because she's a streamer, cosplayer, mental health advocate who uses her platform to show up for their community in so many different ways. Not only does she provide a space for laughter, but she provides a space for vulnerability. She has a meticulous eye for detail, which makes you feel heard, seen, and very much loved. And she even goes as far as providing weekly meetings with her community for mental health check ins, endlessly providing others different ways to deal with depression, grief, and isolation. By far, and I mean by far, one of the best streamers I've enjoyed, and by far one of the most compassionate, selfless human beings I ever met, who I'm very proud to call my friend. Please welcome Chanel, aka Chaibuski.
Why you gonna make me cry,
don't
nigga?
don't
Oh,
do that. We did enough of that last week. Y'all
like
tell
don't.
me why. Tell me
Oh,
why. Well, yeah. Tell me why I went over her house last week, right? It had been a long time since we've seen each other,
oh
and
my god.
I was planning to bring my Xbox and everything. I'm like, let's game. It's been a long time since I've played with real people.
Like I know you.
I brought food and it ended up turning into a 4 or 5, 6 hour discussion, which I don't regret at all. It was great. But I'm telling
Oh,
you guys, we did not cook until maybe like 1 in the morning.
damn near,
Midnight,
yeah.
maybe 1 in the morning.
It
One of
started.
those.
It started at midnight. It started.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
like damn near, damn near. But no games, but it was a discussion that was very much needed for the both of us.
Yeah.
And if you can just envision the type of discussion we had, I can only imagine how you all can imagine how the discussions really go within her group chats. So yes, so we're gonna get right into it. I want to ask you, what made you get into gaming?
Now, when you say what made me get into gaming, are you referring to like me as the adult in gaming, or like when I literally first picked up a game?
Let's go all the way to the beginning. Yeah, when you first picked up a game, and what was it? What was it?
Ah,
What did you feel? What sparked your curiosity? Everything.
okay. So I'm not gonna lie, I don't remember the exact first game that I picked up as far as like what was first. It was definitely Sega. It's definitely
Okay.
Sega.
Okay. Sega game.
Um, and of course I was playing Sonic. Um,
Classic.
but if I'm being really blatantly and brutally honest, it was one of these handheld games that um like maybe the 80s or the 70s.
Okay.
Um, fuck, what I'm trying to describe it
Right, I
because
know. I already know.
Okay, so imagine shout out to Zoro, but
Okay.
imagine this is like a black box
Right.
and there's like a digital screen right here
Okay.
and you're able to like turn the wheel on it
Okay.
to drive and it like moves back and forth in the lanes. So it's like you're dodging the like when you're dodging the cars,
Yeah.
like the old school joystick version. So I was
That's pretty
playing
cool.
a handheld version of that, but
Right.
like black, well, not even black and white. It was, it was just digital, like a digital clock type look,
Right.
and it was just turning the wheel back and forth. I don't know what the actual like legit name of it is, but that was the first thing like I picked up as a kid because I was like 2 or 3,
Wow.
technically
I mean,
speaking.
I find that impressive. You were able to go that far in like 2, 3 years old. I
Yeah,
feel like I can go as far as watching the first game I've seen someone played, and I can recall like how it made me feel.
yeah.
Um, my stepfather at the time, father of my twin brothers,
Hmm.
had Resident Evil. He had like the first PlayStation. Yeah, first game I feel like I was ever introduced to.
Okay, okay.
I think it was also the first time I've ever used profanity in front of my parents because I was just like, damn, like
Oh my, oh my God!
I
Wow,
was
as a
young. I was
kid,
young. I was young. I had to have been like maybe 4 or 5 years old. And I'm like, how did you know about this word? And I'm like, you
it's in
know,
the game. What?
it's in the game. What I saw warranted that response.
I
But
was just learning.
exactly. I remember my family always being frequent when it came to like watching horror films.
Oh God.
So I feel like, and I was like, maybe not receptive at first, but I've always been like, let's welcome the intensity. So when I saw Resident Evil, and I was like, oh my gosh, like y'all can shoot zombies in this game. Oh my gosh, there's a whole storyline to this game. Like, but I've
Okay.
never built the courage to like play it until maybe I was like maybe like 12, 13, maybe even
Still
before.
haven't. Still haven't.
Still haven't. Oh my
30 and
god.
still haven't.
You have to join me on a live stream and just be entertained by all the jump scares and the profanity. Like you just got to do it one day.
Oh, baby, because I've done it, but with Outlast instead of Resident Evil.
So Outlast. So I know a little bit about Outlast. I know it's like a survival horror game, but
That's it.
that's it. That's
It's
it.
just yeah. So you are an investigative journalist and you're going into an asylum, but you have no weapons, nothing. You
Yeah,
just have
that's
your camcorder
yeah.
and running and hiding in
Mm,
lockers. Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I've
There's
seen
all the
some.
jump scares and all that. I don't like it.
I don't know if I can get with the no weapons part. I feel like I can help having a weapon. I can play a horror game and like be okay with the concept of having. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
Haven't played it since I started it, and that was when I first started streaming.
What if I told you that there's studies that proven that certain genres of games sort of help build cognitive skills, like strengthen your cognitive skills?
I would definitely believe that.
Yeah. What
I
would you
mean,
say? Like you Yeah, it's improved your attention to detail. You think you have more attention to detail than most?
I would say attention to detail and then response times. So
Okay.
like of
Heavy
course,
on the response time.
oh, definitely. Cuz like I would say like I know this kind of sounds generic cuz it's a shooting game, but
Mhm.
Fortnite and Overwatch,
Right.
like they're fast-paced games because you're reacting to live people playing with you.
Right.
So the reality of the matter is if you're standing in the middle of the map and you're not doing anything, you're going to die because there's
That's
people
true.
that are coming at you from all different angles, all different spaces. You're trying to protect your team, you're trying to survive, you're trying to make
Yeah.
sure that the other team is dying
It's
like
realistic.
exactly. And same thing with like scary games. It kind of puts you in scenarios where it's like, okay, I have to respond to something that I'm not used to or out of the normal. How would I get out of this scenario based off of the little things that I do have or don't have? So, like
Yeah.
like Outlast, for example. Like when I was playing that during the time, it's like if this was real life, I would have ran the fuck out of there. I would have never started to begin with. This would have never happened. But
real. That's real.
But if I'm just put in this scenario, then you try to think into the sense of like, all right, so this big gigantic thing is running at me. Let me run away and hide someplace where he can't see me. This dark corner looks good. So it's like,
I feel like
you kind of
Outlast gives people like the chance to really resolve the trauma they felt when they watched a movie where they seen a character just do everything wrong in the book. Yeah,
kind of, because it's like, okay, so
because
I
you're
can
in
only speak for
control.
me. You
Yeah.
are and aren't at the same time though, because it's like for
Okay.
me, it'd be like, oh, I'd stab you in the eye and run, but I can't stab
Because you
you.
can't. All right.
So it's
Because
like,
you have less
oh,
of a functioning in the game. Okay. Yeah. I see. That
like,
part I keep forgetting.
oh, I can see.
You know what? Then I kind of wonder if it more so alludes to the people who have more experiences in high intensity situations where they choose to maybe like freeze, fawn, or like flight instead of fight. So I
Mhm.
think I like how these specific genres contribute, I want to say, some type of conditioning or reconditioning towards your psyche. Because
Yeah.
for me, the way I experience horror games, and given that horror games is one of the first things I'd ever played, I really think I'm also gonna validate the real life intense experiences I had. But playing the horror games have sort of gotten me to, what do I want to call it? Develop crisis management skills.
I can see that. Definitely.
Like reacting quickly to
Mhm.
things, for sure, for sure.
Yeah.
It's definitely gave me some confidence. I feel like being in situations, especially in Resident Evil 3, my gosh, because the nemesis is much worse than Mr. X. I don't care what anybody says. The nemesis pops up out of nowhere. And there's a clip I'm probably gonna insert behind the back of our clip that's currently playing, or maybe insert in the middle of the interview. But somebody was I was watching somebody's gameplay and they were running towards a safe house. They shot this man until he was like shut down. And when you have the opportunity to run past them, you run like hell. And no matter if it's a crowd of zombies or anything like that.
Mhm.
Um and how this man will appear if you're like that close to the safe house, you can hear his footsteps.
Oh,
You can
yep.
you can audibly hear his footsteps, and if you turn around, he is this
Right
close,
there. Mhm.
this close. He can even like jump out of midair and like land in the middle of you trying to fight something.
Jump out of midair? Yep, not
In
playing.
midair, I'm
Not
telling you.
playing.
I I get real life sometimes anxiety from that game. So a lot of people I'm sure would be like, "Well, why do you play that?" And I'm like, I'm really some
I'm one
type,
of those people. Why?
and you know
Why
what?
are you playing?
I think because it helps me become more equipped with not situations like that, obviously, but like,
I mean, hey, you never know with today's day and age. You never know.
I hope there's not an outbreak virus and it turns everybody into zombies and
What
boom.
shoot. Honestly.
You know, who knows? It probably is based off what somebody has experienced. So I don't know. I don't. I'm not gonna go as far as on all that. Don't
We'll
get
leave
me
it
wrong.
alone for now. We'll leave it.
But I will say that one of the theories I would like to prove is that certain genres really do help you condition your psyche
Mhm,
and have you well conditioned for situations that maybe you're not so accustomed to
mhm.
or not so good at. Let me say that, and let me put it in like simplistic terms as that.
Yeah, that's valid.
Yeah, because I know there's some studies out there where if I think of Leah Martinez, Manuel Jimenez, and Eric Lambert. I can't recall what university they went to, but they definitely have an article that's available to the general public that
Mhm.
talk about gamers' experiences versus non-gamers and, strengthening their cognitive skills. So some people might depend on puzzles for like strategy. Well, maybe not depend on puzzles, but some people are just, let's say they're genuinely interested in doing puzzle games. And a lot of people may not connect the dots as to how that conditions somebody to become more strategical, become more detail oriented. And they therefore take these credentials that they've built, these skills that they've built up and use them towards like their everyday job or everyday mundane tasks. So it's me trying to get people to understand that outsourcing these games and these different platforms for games is what can, I don't know, eventually end up becoming solution based again for the things that they feel like they aren't confident enough to solve. So
Yeah.
like, can you think of any games that maybe help you improve some of your cognitive skills that maybe made you good at your job in a certain number of ways, maybe good as a friend, good as a person in general?
Mm. I would say honestly, there's been plenty of games that have definitely changed my perspective and thinking on honestly a lot of different things in life. I
Right,
know it's gonna sound kind of funny, but different work simulators, there's different like job simulators and emulators in general.
right.
Like there's supermarket simulator,
Almost.
hotel renovator simulator, food truck simulator. I know that's all kind of corny, but realistically, it kind of puts people into those perspectives of having those types of jobs too. Yeah, you get jokes and you get the entertainment of it, but at the same time, you
Right,
get a perspective of where that person's coming from and how they end up working. Like, damn, this is kind of tedious for me to be the only person on this truck, and I'm trying to get all these orders out for all these people. It's like what, 5 people in line? Not that much, but from the other side of things, it's like I have to make sure my food prep is good. I have to make sure that everything is cooked to, you know, the food standards and things like that.
right,
Or like when you're playing certain shooting and racing games, it helps with your hand and eye coordination. Like there's a number of different ways that games can help you with a number of different things, but it's also based off of I would say how you play the games.
very
Um
much true.
yeah,
Interesting.
cuz
Yeah,
because some people, like, I get it, they use it as an escape from reality, but in the same instance, subconsciously, you still can be improving on your cognitive skills without even noticing it because of the fact that, you have to pay attention and do a certain thing when you're playing a certain game, or you have to think a little bit more or give a little bit more attention to certain things as far
mhm,
as like uh maybe mental math or,
right,
having to think on your toes about answering a question to move to the next part of something. So honestly, any game,
right.
damn near any game can help you with your cognitive skills. It's just you may not notice it as you're doing it, and sometimes it's more intentional in other ways for some than others. So
Oh my
yeah.
gosh. In the beginning, you touched on something that I didn't even think of. I totally forgot that they have simulators
Mhm.
when you are placed in like real aspects of the job market. And
Mhm.
I was thinking, like, could this also maybe, I don't know, provoke people to have more etiquette when they deal with other people in certain situations? Is that I feel like we don't get a lot of people that respect people in the food service. And I know you and I both know about that experience for sure.
Amen. Amen.
Okay? Like, please. I think getting people more acquainted within those games could really teach people how it is when they are in that industry.
Yeah.
Um, and in a way, like you're opening me up to a perspective that a lot of games could teach people about being mindful in so many different ways to one another.
Mhm.
A game that I'm thinking of right now, very simplistic game, right?
Mhm.
It's I believe it's under Sony. I believe it's only a part of the PlayStation market, but I also believe it's a free game. It's called Flow. And I think you're playing as this microbiome.
Mhm.
Um, maybe sort of like a fish in its early stages, but you can't necessarily tell because everything looks so abstract.
Okay.
And you're using the motion sensors on the controller to your advantage. So you can't like move the joystick. You
Oh,
can't
so
use
you
yeah. So the
okay.
whole point is to sort of move like a fish and catch all of the I guess like other fishes or foods within your environment in order for you to sort of like elevate and grow.
Okay.
And I just thought like, wow, what a metaphor. And the sense of calmness that I felt while playing this game
Mhm.
during a particular time in my life where everything just felt so intense, so rushed. So I gotta be on my P's and Q's. I gotta move on to the next thing. Like there's no time to rest in between, etc. And I feel like outsourcing that as a cathartic method really gave my brain the reset that it was looking for.
Nice.
So I really liked how you touched on how a lot of games, depending on who it is or what intention you are playing it for, can really improve your cognitive skills.
Mhm.
Um, and I guess it brings me into the transition of playing these games responsibly because I know when we were young and we first got into it, man, the marathons, I would run up and down with my brothers when we had
Like,
Super
we playing
Mario.
all night, what you mean?
Oh my
So what, we ain't
God.
got no memory card, leave it on,
Like,
go to sleep for 2 hours, and we be back
let's
up.
go. Come on. Like, you already know what's up. We
Exactly.
had, I think the first system that me and my brothers had owned together was a GameCube. And we had all four controllers. So
Right.
like we were in there. If you
Why
wanna
we
bring
in the
a
same
friend
boat?
in, like
Why
let's
we
go.
in the same boat?
Like,
That was my first console.
are you serious? Okay, so wait, can you think of like the first 2 to 3 games that you had?
My first 2 to 3
Yeah,
games? Fuck.
I know. We going in the vault.
I mean, I have them. 'em. I'm not even gonna lie. I got my GameCube case. Wait, why you playing?
Go get them. Stop playing. Not this is an
'Cause
exclusive show.
well, on display technically, like, right off to the side, my GameCube is actually up here. Um
Wow, Chanel, how did I miss that?
Wait,
Oh
like,
my god.
because literally, like, my GameCube is literally right here.
And you had the silver. Oh my god. I had the blue. I had the blue.
So
Yeah.
fun fact, I technically had the blue at first too.
Okay.
Um, I ended up having some type of like disc reader error with my GameCube, and then my parents bought me the silver one because it
Okay.
was on sale. So I got the
Oh,
silver one
that's
and
sweet.
then a wireless controller.
A wireless controller?
Hmm.
Oh, you was in there. All we knew was chords. All we knew was rapping before we had to be done.
I only had one wireless controller, so that was mine every time, of course. But I had three other controllers. Still had the blue one. They ended up buying me an orange one, and I had the silver one that it came with.
Chanel, wow.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
crazy. Blast
But
from the freaking past.
I'm trying not to like leave my room on
No, no, no,
camera,
no.
but
I get
like,
it. No, I get it.
but I
Um,
still have my GameCube case and everything. I want to say my first my first games had to be um The Incredibles,
get the fork out of here.
um Spider-Man,
Okay.
and then Monsters Inc. and Universal Studios.
Monsters Inc. And wait, Universal Studios.
Yes, Universal Studios had their own game.
Wait.
Yes. So you could
Oh, it'd
go
be like carnival type style,
you
like
would
later.
so like you would go, it was like so kind of a partial simulator. You're
Okay.
walking around the park essentially, and you are going to the different um rides
Right.
and riding the rides, but not really. Like, some of them are like the actual rides in Universal, and then some of
Mhm.
the games are like just games based off of the movie, like ET.
Okay.
um what's that other movie? Back to
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. I'm trying.
Okay.
I don't know why I'm trying to put Guardians of the Galaxy and Back to the Future together. I don't know why. Because I'm like
I
Back to
don't
the Galaxy, and I'm like, no, that's not the
I
name of
don't
the movie.
blame you.
But
I
like,
get it.
yeah. So like all
I
the
get it.
Universal like movie staples, Jurassic Park, like all of
Definitely
those.
Jurassic Park, yeah.
Yeah, like they have these games and rides that you go around the park to go, ride these rides, collect these points, and like, go see the different things. So it was actually pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie.
I actually I would love to go on a friend trip to Universal Studios. That's
Oh, we
been
could definitely do that. We could definitely
that's
do that.
please, because that's like one of my dreams. That is
Really?
it's one of my dreams for sure. Disney
See,
World maybe, but Universal Studios definitely. Like every time I was with family, I'm like Disney, like this is cool, but you already know we're really gonna have some fun, and it's gonna be Universal
Disney,
Studios.
people be sleep on Disney because of the fact that it gets made for kids.
Oh,
But
please,
when you drink around the
please.
world
Okay,
and then go to Animal Kingdom, that
thank
shit
you.
is lit. And as somebody, so long story short, because I worked with Varsity, the cheer company,
Right.
I ended up, if I go back essentially and work like a competition or two in
Mhm.
Orlando, then we get park hopper passes. Park hopper passes
Oh,
are like $300-$400 to go to all of the different parks. We get those for free.
oh,
Yeah.
that's
So
amazing. That
that
is amazing.
so
That's
you know
amazing.
we'll
Yeah,
we'll, we'll talk about that. We'll talk
we'll
about that.
talk about it. There will be a time. There will be a
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
So for me, I think the first game I remember cracking open was this game called Beautiful Joe.
Oh.
Beau- Beautiful Joe. I feel like it was definitely a rated M, maybe rated teen. I'm not really too sure. There were definitely some inappropriate
Ooh.
concepts in that game. Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Okay.
But it was this little guy with like a big head on a little guy's frame. And I think the whole style of the game was supposed to be as if you're part of like some cartoon or like comic book strip.
Ooh.
And it was pretty cool. It was like a beat 'em up style type of game for
Beat 'em
sure.
up. Beat 'em up.
Super Smash Brothers.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. That was like golden child moment. Um
Always. Someone stole mine.
I'm sorry. I think we broke ours. I think we scratched it up. I think it's just, yeah, three boys in the house. It was just sort of like,
It's bound to happen.
yeah, it was bound to happen. What was another one though? I definitely had Fantastic Four.
I have that too.
Yeah, I think I still have it actually. I think
Same.
that's one of the games I still very much have. Of
If I
course, of course,
oh,
I played as Invisible Woman. If we were all like in a group of four or whatever, I'm like, nah, like she got the coldest powers to me. Like I gotta play as her.
see, in reality, she did on the game. I feel like they hold her.
Oh, in what way? Was it because I like how she was able to freeze some of
Like,
the folks. I
cause
was here
like
for that.
her powers weren't really on the same caliber as when she was hitting people. It was less damage,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
she would take the most damage. And don't get
No,
me wrong, like I get it, she's a woman, but at the same time, it's like,
very sexist of
come,
them.
very, very, like, come on, she's a badass in her own way.
She is. She is.
Show her some respect.
Oh, another multiplayer game I remember having was Teen Titans.
Ah, I did not
Like,
have Teen Titans.
oh my
Fuck, I
gosh.
wanted that so bad, but no, my
I
mom was
might
like,
just cop that on eBay just for us to experience because that is like one of the best co-op games ever.
ah, childhood memory.
Yes. I'm telling you, I'm here for the nostalgia. How did we know to start gaming responsibly? Like, wait, not I feel like you giving the look like, damn, I'm still trying to find
What is gaming responsibly? What?
right. Girl, I forgot you're like a 24, 48-hour streamer if you truly wanted to.
But like if I was really out here paying my bills just with streaming, baby,
And you will be
nonstop.
soon. You will be soon. I believe that. You're speaking that.
I see. I believe it. It's just the timing of when. That's the only downfall. Because
Yeah.
it's like if you knew the time of when, be like, okay, so I'm just preparing until September. That's all. and then full throttle from here, baby.
Oh my gosh.
uh, let's see. But as far as responsible gaming, let I'll be honest. So me being honest would be like I've never been an actual responsible gamer per se, but I've been
Okay.
responsible in knowing when to get off.
Okay.
Cuz
I,
it's like for example, it's like okay, I know I have work tomorrow at 12, but I am gaming until 4. So if,
or
I go to sleep until, 8 to 10 o'clock, I will get enough sleep to then go to work at 12. Like balancing out and knowing, having an understanding of the things that you need to do in comparison to the things that you want to do sometimes. And it's
yeah.
like cutting corners in the sense of like, okay, I know I want to stay on for another hour, so I'll cut it in half and do 30 minutes instead. You know, doing the little things that will be beneficial in the long run because of the fact that, you know, gaming may not be your breadwinner in some areas, but it's still beneficial to help you as a person. So it's like just knowing the balance between the two. Like, okay, if I'm playing this long, then how does this affect what I'm doing on my day to day or what I have to do later on during that day? So just kind of scheduling.
Speaking to the congregation, like I had to, okay, so for me, I knew at one point when I spent maybe like almost an entire year away from my system,
Hmm.
I was like, I don't ever want to experience that again. And that's when I knew that I more
Trying to
than
relight my
likely was,
candle. Sorry.
no, no, you're fine. I knew that I was more than likely outsourcing my console, not only for escapism, but for tragic, tragic.
I
You
got wax on my face. I just dropped my candle into my fucking. Ah!
what was it? That vanilla candle?
It don't taste like vanilla.
Oh, look, them food scented candles. That's what you
Hey,
get for having a food scented candle.
I'm not trying to eat it.
Trash. The trash. So when I knew it was time for me to start gaming responsibly, funnily enough, is around the time when I didn't have my console at all. And I
Ah,
realized what exactly I was outsourcing these games for. And Tomb Raider was the most frequent game that I was playing like the most. Like when I got my Xbox, I knew right off bat I need to buy the whole entire reboot series and more if I can, because when I had a PlayStation 4, I think I had a PlayStation 4, I
mhm.
bought the reboot and I played it so many different times. I mean, I wasn't too thrilled with her not wielding a dual handgun until the literal end of the game. Um, they're gonna
That
hear
part.
a lot from me on that one, but I think conceptually, graphic wise, storyline wise, it was such a pick me up because she went through a lot of shit. Not only was it fictional, but it was sort of like, you know what? She's going through all of this shit. I know I can get my ass up and tackle tackle this
The
problem.
little things,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
At least
like
I'm
if
not
she
falling out
fighting
of
for her
planes.
life, you know.
Right. At least I'm not falling out of planes and shit. Like fighting ghouls and all that other.
Cause man,
Okay, because man, they played
Laura
banger.
Croft out
They
here
was a
doing it,
banger.
doing
But
the damn thing.
she was definitely an inspiration because I wanted to get back into learning Spanish. Get back into learning
Really?
Spanish. Yeah, I mean, granted, they weren't speaking that specific language in there, but I
You
think
talking about Latin?
yeah, they
Okay.
were they were speaking maybe Greek. They weren't speaking Greek. Okay, so how it went is that every scroll or every journal that you found, depending on which region she was in, you would level up in that particular language, whether it be like Mongolian or Greek or I believe in the first game they were sort of like in Japan or near Japan. So I can't remember whether or not if some of the language is written in Japanese or not. But I was that good at maybe putting myself in somebody else's shoes because I think that's what makes the whole entire experience in an RPG game in general.
No, valid.
In an RPG, because my gosh, I shouldn't say
It's
game
okay.
chat. Yeah,
I mean, it's still a game. It's still
it's
a
still a
game.
game. It's still a game. It's still a game. And I felt the same way about playing Elder Scrolls. Man, was I a huge fan of Elder Scrolls, and was I a huge fan of Shadow of Mordor, Middle Earth. Like, hello, to know that I can be a dragonborn and also marry a vampire, turn into a vampire if I wanted to, and
Okay. You would definitely you would definitely like Baldur's Gate then.
Baldur's Gate. I've heard about it. I've heard
Hmm.
about it. So now that somebody has actually recommended it to me, I'm gonna give it a try.
Yeah, that and Elden Ring. Have you played Elden Ring?
No, and I'm straying away from it because ew, I have this thing and I need to fix that. I have an ick when it comes to like things that are like popular. That's so weird. And I hate to be one of those guys, but I heard it's pretty good. I heard it's not bad. Uh-oh. What you listening out for?
Oh, my roommate's home.
Okay. I'm like neighbors.
No, I heard the TV and I was like, I don't have my TV on.
Oh, I thought you heard it.
No, no.
Okay.
No, you're good.
Oh
You're
my
good.
gosh. But yeah, Tomb Raider, it really changed my perspective over what conviction truly is. And I feel like I didn't have enough of that when it came to the things that I pursued. So whenever I felt a lack of motivation, I would legit hop on that game and be like, you know what? We're on our fifth or sixth go round, but
Mhm.
I know how it ends. But not only that, I strive to find all the like nooks and cranes and like hidden gems within that game. And my ego is reset. It's reset enough for me to go back and finish that thing that I was putting off. It's yeah. So like
Because I was gonna ask, because I was gonna say, like,
what?
so does it help? Do you feel like you're one of those people that like sit and go through all the side quests and stuff to make sure that you complete the entire game, or are you one of those
Yes,
people that's just
yes,
like, I have to play
exactly.
this game?
I am. I am. I'm such a nerd
Yeah,
for that shit. It's so it's like why not? Like why are you not competing to complete 100% of the game, bro? Do not irk me. Like
it
you that
depends on the game for me.
that story arc is not going anywhere. Go and explore that tomb so that you can upgrade that gun and it eventually turns into like a long range pistol or a pistol with a suppressor. Like,
Okay,
stop
okay.
playing. Stop
I'm
playing.
here for it. I'm here for it. Cause
And
like I
I
be
didn't,
50-50 sometimes.
yeah,
If the story's not hitting, then it doesn't make me wanna,
yeah.
like, do the side quests or do the side missions. So I'll literally just finish the game because it's like, all right, well, the game story or the main base story is what I'm here for. But for some stories, it's like, ooh, okay, wait. So I'm rocking with
Right,
this. Hold on. I want to see what
right.
else is gonna give me like some extra insight on stuff, or like if I can get some more perks, whatever the case may be. So
Oh my gosh, very seldom have I played the game where the storyline wasn't hidden like that. I think it had to have been like a Halo game, and that's probably what made me fall out with it. But honorary mention, Halo to me is one of like the best multiplayer games ever. Ever. And I know like a lot of people will probably give me
the
that.
best ever.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
that's up for debate. That's up for debate.
Oh my gosh, y'all weren't there when OG Halo was out, and you
I
know,
wasn't there. I wasn't there. I was there. I was definitely
they-
there. I just wasn't in the lobbies. No, me personally, no. God, no.
that's crazy.
Those lobbies were just as toxic as COD. Don't
Oh
even.
yeah, no, you're not wrong about that.
And I know
If
where
anything,
my
it's probably
strengths
the
and
start.
weaknesses are. I know where my strengths and weaknesses are. So I do not want to be up in no lobby where there's a whole bunch of sweats and then these out here. What the fuck are you doing? Sitting here with the you fucking net N word. I'm like, I need to leave.
Right.
This is
Yeah,
insane.
I'm not for the
Ah!
woofing. I'm not for the woofing. When I'm on Overwatch, I'll maybe like come across like some little snobby teenager or
We still
something.
have to play Overwatch.
We still have to.
We s-
Tonight, tonight
tonight
after.
tonight. You mean after this interview? Cause while you playing, I definitely was gonna stream and play some games.
Okay, listen, I got the headphones until Friday, so like we in there. We are in there.
What's up?
So
Cause
let's
let,
go. So yeah, that's what Tomb Raider has done for me. I really feel like it's taught me how to really move, or it's taught me how to really transition into the position of being a pedagogue. And that's why I use that so, I want to say lightly and at the same time professionally. Because when you look at Laura Croft, somebody of that particular stature is multidisciplined.
yeah,
And I've
definitely.
always been obsessed with characters who are like multidisciplined, like
Hmm.
skillful in combat, skillful in strategy, skillful in critical thinking. To
Mhm.
know that this person who's already enduring a lot of grief, which I can't wait for us to cover that topic later on. Um,
Yes.
yes, in the stream later on tonight. Um, for her to use that as her reason or her motivation, I feel
Mhm.
like that's true transmutation to me.
Ah, okay. I
It
definitely can
really
see
is.
that.
Because I was going through a very depressing time while playing that game as well. So I felt like, you know what, like as fictional as this character is, I want to be able to look at my situations the same way and look at it the same way that she views a mountain. Like I'm gonna climb that regardless.
Mhm.
Because you know she climbs mountains throughout the freaking game. So
Literally.
literally, I mean with
Oh,
a pickaxe.
I was gonna say this is just random.
Go for
Fuck. Why is
it.
it the moment that I think of it, that it leaves? Uncharted. Have you ever played Uncharted?
Okay, so I was in college. I was
Mhm.
in college and um I was rooming with Kappas. That's irrelevant. But I was rooming with one of the, what would you call them? They're sort of like the RAs. He was like one of the RAs. And
Okay.
oftentimes he would be gone over the weekend
Mhm.
and he would be like, you know, hey, here's the key to my room. If you want to play like the PlayStation, like go for it. And Uncharted was one of those games.
Mm.
Not the wing.
But,
Nah,
like,
we would just
now,
play like that. Nah,
Imma just say he
no,
was doing
no,
something he wasn't supposed to, because our RAs are
absolutely
supposed to
not.
do that.
If we're being quite honest, we were doing a lot of things we weren't supposed to be doing in there, especially smoking. He allowed me to play Uncharted too. Yeah, he not
Okay,
allowed me. He
okay, so
let
you
me play.
have played. So you have played.
I played a little bit of it. Did I like it better than Tomb Raider? No, I did not like it better than Tomb Raider, but I did think I thought it was a very entertaining gameplay only
You need
because
to play the first one. I feel like if you know the story from the first one to then lead into the second one, like,
uh,
the Uncharted storyline is what got me into Uncharted.
it's good. It literally reminds me of a cinematic movie. I feel like I'm watching a movie. I feel like I'm playing as a character in a movie, and I love that.
It's it's a cinematic version of Tomb Raider, in my opinion.
Wow, really?
'Cause, like, Sully and fuck, why did I not I fucking forgot his name the moment that I'm trying to say it. But the main character and his side character Sully, like,
Okay,
you you get to kind of meet the character and see him for what he is, and he's a thief, but
okay.
he's stealing off of the goodness of, yes, to make money, but on the back end it's really because he's so infatuated with knowledge. He's a kid that was an orphan and then was picked up by Sully, who was a thief at the time, but then Nathan, that's his name.
Nathan. Okay, okay.
Okay. So the main character's name is Nathan, and he's an orphan, and he's picked up by Sully, and then he learns how to be a thief professionally, but they're stealing from people that essentially have been stealing artifacts and things from people's eyes. Like they're
Mm,
stealing knowledge to present knowledge essentially.
okay. Yeah, I like that.
I know that's kind of like,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
it is.
But
Rip off type shit. But like,
yeah. But when you follow the storyline and like see how he evolves as a person, because he was an ain't shit nigga first,
mhm,
Well, let me not say that. He was raised he was adopted at like what, 11, 12ish kind of, and not like legally adopted. He was just taken in by Sully. So he was like, I
mm,
seen you on the streets, let me, this is where you can go if you need a place to stay, like that kind of thing. But you really don't find that story out until I think the third or the fourth game. So essentially you're following Nathan as he's like a middle-aged adult, so like maybe like mid to late 20s.
okay,
And then you're following him in the beginning of his escapades of being, you know, a architect thief,
right,
but learning all of the knowledge from that game. Like some of the stuff is real, come to find out. And it made me more appreciative of history. It made me more appreciative
no,
of,
same.
yeah.
No, I like that. No, because that's the exact perspective I gathered from Tomb Raider.
hmm
Oh my gosh.
I connect more with the Tomb Raider movies than the game, though, unfortunately.
And you know what? For me, it's almost sort of vice. I feel like it's sort of half and half. They feel equivalent to each other. But Angelina Jolie as Laura Croft, top tier. Like I don't think anybody will ever be able to come. Yes.
Thank you.
But also they didn't explore. They didn't make her look like the capitalist venture or the what I want to call it, the oh, what would they normally call the oh my gosh, I hate when my
Describe it. Describe it.
okay, like white people who go to places they're not supposed to be going to, and they like a Christopher Columbus type of
Oh,
name. We always use it.
I
We always
know.
use it. A colonizer. So okay,
Oh, Colin.
so
Okay. Okay.
so I like how
Colonize.
because in the game, I feel like there was a particular point where was she trying to retrieve an artifact for the sake of the other group not getting it? Yes, but it's also sort of like, well, it's also not good in your hands either. Like, what are you gonna do with it? So
I can
these
kind of
things,
see that.
so
Yeah.
these world events were sort of happening in a way where she had to realize that
The
seeking
great,
truth, that
the greater
yeah,
good.
the greater good, but also in regards to her own ethics, like, am I seeking truth for the sake of the benefit of our society, or am I doing it because it's coming from a legacy that my father wasn't able to finish, and I'm doing this in the sake of his name, or I'm doing this in the sake of my grief. I'm doing this to the sake of validation for somebody that's no longer here, you know?
I would
So
say, yeah.
I
I
think
would say two things could be true at the same time with her story.
yeah, absolutely. All of
Yeah.
it can be true for
Yeah.
sure. And I like how you're able to experience those fluctuations with her throughout the story.
hmm
So for me, oftentimes the story was just magnificent. And it put me in a lot of positions where I was questioning my own ethics and whether or not if I was doing it for the sake of ego, if I was doing it for the sake of mm, I don't know. I can't. I'm trying to think of the word that I normally use, but I can't think of it right now. Maybe doing it off of a personal whim or doing it just for the sake of helping somebody, maybe
Yeah.
genuine interest. A lot of
I
those
feel like
things.
I feel like it was genuine interest for you, because I
Yeah.
mean, like,
Yeah.
even even with it, when you start playing the game, the storyline probably captivated you, and then you're like, "Ooh, hey,
Absolutely. Because
bad bitch."
Bad bitch for sure. But I'm also really, really good. I think games have also helped me further my empathy. Cause
I
man,
can
have
see
I
that,
played
yeah.
some games that were gut wrenching, heartbreaking.
Bruh. Oh my god.
Gosh, when you
No. Yeah.
way to turn up the empathy. Oh my gosh.
There's a Life is Strange game. It's the third one in the series, and it's with two brothers. I
Mm.
cannot play it because how much it touches on racism for me.
Oh wow. You
Yeah.
know what? You recommended that I play that game and you said you think I would like it.
So like the Life is Strange series, I definitely know you would enjoy it.
Yeah.
Definitely. So first
Makes
two
me excited.
games, fourth game, totally. The
Okay.
third game is always kind of iffy for me with people because it's racially motivated. It's with Hispanics, but it's racially motivated in the sense of dealing with racism and blatant racism, not like
Mm,
underlaying, ooh, not sure.
yeah.
Like no, it's blatant. It's very
Wait.
blatant.
Damn.
So I me personally, so the first chapter of the game is free on PlayStation, and then you have to, buy the full game or buy the chapters. But I
Is
played
it
the first one and it was so difficult.
okay, so is it like one of those interactive games, almost like Until Dawn, where you choose
Yeah,
the
it's
right?
like it's
Oh,
similar to
I love a
Until
good
Dawn.
interactive game.
Yeah, and
Oh, it's
and just
amazing.
for shits and giggles, that game is also a crossplay.
So this means
Until
I need
Dawn
to try
and then
it.
yep.
Wait, oh my, I didn't know that. I
Yeah,
didn't
so
know it was
Until Dawn.
multiplayer.
So it's couch play. So with couch play, you can cross play with somebody else that has the game itself, and then you each pick characters that you want to play as, and then the game will have you, go back and forth between those different characters that you pick between.
Get the
Yep,
fuck out
we'll
of
play
here.
around with that too. Yep.
Okay,
Not
please. 'Cause
today,
I'm
but we'll
like,
play around with
you know what?
it.
It'll come. There will be a time, and there will be a time. There will be a time.
Cause I'm gonna reach out and be like, "Hey, so guess what we're doing on Sunday?" Cause I officially do games, scary games on Sundays. Um,
Okay. Oh wow, that's amazing. I
yes.
like that.
But every now and then I will incorporate scary games in general, depending on like if I'm playing. I genuinely don't play scary games by myself unless there's just certain games that I want to play. Like Dark Descendants, that's one of them that I. Oh no, not Dark Descendants, Dark Deception. Dark Deception is one of the games that I wanted to play by myself, even though it's like it's so fucking nerve wracking.
Really? I
It's it's not even too crazy. It's you
uh
like running through different types of mazes with different like
Oh, I think
characters.
I've seen the gameplay for this. Okay.
Yeah. And the
Yeah.
first one is fucking monkeys.
Oh my gosh. I think I thoroughly enjoy that because right now one of the things that I've been fixating on was I don't know if it's not Dead by Daylight. I think I might be getting that confused.
Ah, I was gonna
What's the
say
one
because
where they're running away from like zombies and shit like that. I think Dead by Daylight is the one that's sort of almost like similar to
you're
like
running away from killers and fixing generators.
okay,
That's
so
Dead by
no.
Daylight.
Okay, so I'm thinking of another one. The other one is sort of like something by dawn or
Dead
no,
Dead
dead,
at Dawn.
not dead at dawn. Fuck a duck. Fluke. I don't know. I can't think of it, but it's
'Cause
definitely a zombie game, and I'm a fan of zombie games.
Back
And
for Blood?
huh?
Back for
No,
Blood?
not Back for Blood, but I have thoughts about Back for Blood.
I have that.
You know what?
We can
Mm,
we can play that too.
I want because I know it's multiplayer. It doesn't give me it, and maybe I need to play with somebody, but it doesn't give me the nostalgic feel that I once had for Left 4 Dead because Left 4 Dead I feel like is one of the best.
It's similar to Left 4 Dead, but you're not gonna get the full throttle of it unless you play with other people because the computers, they're not bad, but they're not good either.
I think that's what it was for me.
Yeah, the
I
computer
didn't like the computers.
yeah, the computer is more of like I can maintain if you're a sweat. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be honest. I said I can maintain the game for you if you a sweat.
Okay.
But if you're not, you gonna feel some lacking on the side
That
of your team because this like would be
It's
like,
definitely the way
"There's
to put
zombies
it.
over here," and they'd be like, "Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, shooting. There
right.
you go.
Oh my gosh,
Oh,
I hate that.
shooting. Oh, I'm
Oh,
dead."
I hate a cop that's not doing their job.
That part, because I be
Um,
feeling like that in Overwatch.
okay. Oh my
Yo,
gosh.
and that's real people, and you just be like, "What the fuck are you doing?
Why are you just standing there? Why are you
Get the
just
fuck
standing
on,
there?
or get the fuck out."
Please, please. Closing out the whole like playing responsibly thing. How I now like feel like gaming is it's a necessity for me now.
Yes.
So when I know I have a long-term project or if I know I have priorities, I would do things in 30 to like hour intervals. I don't see myself working on like a large amount of things for like consecutive 6 to 8 hours. I just don't really find that to be reasonable for me. So
That's valid.
every hour or every hour and 30, I'd be like, okay, let's take a break. And if this thing is frustrating us, let's do something we know that we're good at. So I'm also emphasizing that games are, of course, a great ego booster as well,
They can be. They definitely can be.
you know, and they can also just as equally piss you off as well
Very
and
much so.
make you
Very much so.
and make you feel like you're inadequate. But
Mm,
this is the
'cause
part,
ooh.
okay? And we all have been there. And I mean, like, I don't have like the infantile moments where I want to just throw the game across the room. It's you.
I do. There's been plenty of times where
Oh
I've
my
played
god.
Overwatch, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, "Fuck you guys, and fuck this game."
Um, so even in the moments where you've reached that precipice of anger, how do
Mhm.
you sort of like draw yourself back in to remind yourself that you are just as good as an adequate player as everyone else? Yeah, it's a learning process. I know, but I know you got
Yeah,
something in there.
reminding myself that I'm good, it sometimes does not come in those instances.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
more
that.
like, "Fuck you and fuck this," like,
Woo!
yes, it's
Yeah.
more like that, it's more like that, and, if you've watched at some point, I know you'll watch streams and see, and when we game, you'll hear
Yeah.
it, you'll definitely hear it. So, I wouldn't say it's a reminder of you're just as good as these people, it's just more like, "Fuck, alright, well, I get it next time."
You know,
'Cause
I
it's
feel
like
that.
in some games, you will definitely feel the difference of the level of competitiveness and the fact of people being more skilled in a general sense.
Mhm,
Um, like taking we'll take Overwatch as an example, and like just you playing outside of the normal characters that you're good with, or playing outside of whatever your main is. So I'm a main in healing. I main Moira, but at the same time I also can do DPS, and I'll main fuck, what's her name? Why I don't forget. I used to main Sombra until people started Sombra me.
mhm. It
Yeah.
hurts, it hurts, and even then, because
Wait. It hurts a lot.
oh,
'Cause, like, I was like, "This my bitch," and then yeah, it's not my bitch no
that's
more.
exactly how I feel about Moira until I realize everybody plays Moira. Everybody's just like,
Oh,
"It's the easiest character to use." In my mind, I'm like, "I put in work. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
she's
You think you're better?"
yes, I do. I do. What? Of course I do. What? Is
Like,
that even a question? Is that even a question? What? Of course I think I'm better. What?
man, I'm like, "Oh
I
my
have
god."
clips. I have clips to prove it. What?
Oh, we need to go bar for bar one day, like, we just need to. I feel
Moira
like
against Moira, we can do that. What's up?
we
We
can
can
do
do
that.
that.
We
We
can
can
do
do
that for sure. So, like so for me, whenever I feel and this is so funny, outsourcing games in the moments where you feel frustrated, inadequate, just to further
that.
look like you're further inadequate in the game. So for me,
Yes.
I think that's where I really have to take a breather And this is the question you ask yourself, the true question you ask yourself. What is it that I need to do in order to get better? And maybe
That's
that's
layered.
where a lot of people start changing their perspective around gaming in general. Because yeah, I do believe a lot of people get on just to have fun and release a lot of stress, obviously.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, it can be a healthy competitive sport. Um, and for me, I think of it the same way as I used to view my former roommate, who's still a very, very good friend of mine. They were a roommate in college, and I believe they were a point guard. Yeah. So they were really good at basketball. I mean, really, really good.
Okay, let's go
Thanks.
basketball.
Right. And I had to think about the way that he conditioned himself to be like a really, really good player. It was instilled with him while he was young, yes.
Hmm.
But when you look at the mind of someone who's multidisciplined, they master one element before they go to another.
That's true.
And I don't know, like I can say that I'm really, really good at Moira, yes. But I think it prompted me to go back to like the training room, which is something I've never used. Because I'm the type of person that would be like, you know, jumping headfirst into an experience, aka playing live with other streamers or other gamers, is how you
Mhm.
get the best experience, which is true. That's one of the
Yes,
two things.
very
But
valid.
you know what? Practice makes perfects. Practice makes perfect in other areas as well. So if I need to go to the practice range and hit moving targets, and because if we're being real, using a lot of these characters is all about timing.
Oh, definitely. I
I mean,
mean,
like
if
all
you
about
understand that with like how their fucking powers work
yeah,
initially, then
yeah,
it's easier to take it into a live game. But if you're
right,
just picking somebody and it's like, all right, well, they look cool, I'm gonna play with them, and then you try to
right,
go in and you're like, wait, oh, this like your R2 button is gonna be shooting for anybody no matter what. That
right,
makes sense. But everything else on what people have and how their powers work, no, it does not it does not resonate the same with everyone.
right,
So having an understanding of how the character functions and then knowing how to use their functions in a real game. That's
right,
essentially Overwatch.
right.
So it's like once you get that and then maneuvering with the characters and
Oh my
understanding
gosh,
like
because that
some
can be a
people
whole
move
other
faster than
thing.
others cuz yo.
Yeah, yeah, you're not wrong about that. You are absolutely not wrong about that.
Yeah. So I
Um,
feel like that's what like your your practice realm is. It's like
yeah,
getting a grasp on what each character does and how their powers work against, like a your opposing team or some of the other random characters that you may play against. And then
right,
once you have an understanding of that, then it makes it easier when you go into a live game in comparison to trying to like play in, the practice room. It's not really gonna help you get better because it's like I'm a robot. I'm moving. Yeah, hit me.
no,
Yeah,
no,
hit
like
me.
you're not wrong. So I guess the number one thing is patience with yourself, which
Definitely.
we're all finding time to figure out what that looks like.
Hmm.
But I know for me, oh my gosh, recently I think I've played enough to actually start playing ranked games. So like now I'm at a time where I'm like really shitting bricks because I'm like I'm with the real steppers now.
Oh my god!
And these
That's how I
people,
be feeling playing with my damn PC friends.
oh my gosh, because I'm
PC
telling you,
lobbies in comparison to console are, oh my
oh my
god, not the
gosh.
same. Not
I'm
the
already
same.
knowing they're not afraid to turn their character around and look at you and be like, you need to change your character.
Or be like, you're gonna die because I know you
Right.
suck. Be like, fuck, thanks. Thanks for picking me out.
Like,
Didn't know I was the weak link until just now.
come
Great.
on. And I'm quick to be like, listen, one person falls, we all fall. Cause I know I'm heal. I'm doing my job as a healer. Like you can't tell me I'm not doing shit.
Hey,
Man,
depending
it's
on the
amazing.
lobby, that's all I can
Depending on
say.
the lobby. I mean, but I do my best to practice good gaming etiquette when it comes to all people. I've we can do better. We can do better. We can do better. And now if it's a little bit different if they're coming at me. it's a little bit different if I'm not gonna lie, because I'm not gonna say I'm gonna match the fire, but I will give them
I match all
uh
flames.
I will
You
tell
burn it
them,
like this, I'ma burn up here.
okay. I try not to take it higher,
Oh
but I
no.
let them know like it's just a game. Like I'm still
Oh yeah.
developing my skills. You're more than likely still developing your skills. You're not whipping everybody's ass on here. Let's be real. You are not the best on this game. You may be high ranked, but when it comes to somebody who knows how to play the character better than you, there's always gonna be somebody that's better. Okay. And
That
I
part.
think for the people that are pushing themselves to be the best or be the better character,
Mhm.
they're gonna go harder. Like I'm gonna always resort Tomb Raider as a prime example for me because man, what?
Mm.
I feel like I have not found any other source that made me motivated to want to become a polyglot.
That's
Like,
valid. I feel like that's a different type of gaming though too, because of the fact that you're not dealing with just the gaming, but then the language within the gaming because of the
yeah,
fact she's finding these artifacts and then
yes. No,
being
don't get me wrong.
troubleshooting on
Don't get
top
me
of.
wrong. They're not speaking the actual language,
Oh
and it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
English, but it makes you kind of like go like, man, like there's nothing this person can't do, and I feel like there shouldn't be any excuse for myself.
exactly.
In my mind, I was like, I need to train as hard. If we're being quite honest, it got me back into being frequent in my workouts and what I eat and what I learn. And I just learned to have such a great time with myself and reintroducing what education is supposed to feel like.
Mm,
And it's all because you're being given the choice, the option to learn what you want to learn. It's no pressure.
that
Okay.
part.
Okay.
No pressure of having to learn certain things and learning the stuff that you want to learn because it resonates with you is such a big fucking thing.
I think it also becomes a monopoly effect at the day anyway,
I
because
can see that.
it's gonna prompt you to be like, you know what? I bet I could learn that
Mm,
without the influence from anybody else, without the
exactly.
protection or the stigma around anything else.
Hmm.
I think that's amazing. And I think your intentions with what you do with your game, how you choose your games,
Hmm.
all of the above is the possibilities, the infinite possibilities that it can take you and what you can do with that
Hmm.
and what you can further condition in so many other aspects of your life. Like I
I
think
wholeheartedly agree with that. Wholeheartedly.
I think that's what the gaming experience should be about.
Yeah.
So I do want you to be my test guinea pig. A case study, respectfully, case study.
It's okay. I know it's coming from good place, so you're all good.
Yeah. Um, I would want us to start streaming together. I don't know how to use Switch, so I think
That's okay. You
I
have
just made
someone
a
that.
Twitch in Discord like literally today before we got on.
So
So
you made a Discord in the sense of creating a profile, right?
I
Or
think
did you
so
create a channel?
because I'm still finding it hard to figure out what Discord is. Like, what is that? I remember using Discord before in the matter of like being in a group, a channel, learning with people on certain subject matters. But I don't know what Discord is for. Is that for like your community? If you want to start a community?
I would say yes.
Okay.
Essentially, when you want to use a platform to be able to communicate with people on a multitude of different ways outside of just messaging and sending videos,
Okay.
then yeah. Um, I would say the first step in using Discord, I would say, is to create a profile and then join a community. So that way you can see how you can use it to your benefit in comparison to trying to join Discord and then create the community at the same time, because it can be a little bit overwhelming, because that's what I did when I first started on Discord. I created my profile and then I created my community at the same time, and I was way in over my fucking head. I'm like, "What the fuck is this? What is that?
Oh my,
Okay,
there's so
wait."
many different, like, components to it that I'm
It
like,
is. Like, you can use Discord for a multitude of things, to be honest with you. Like, you can use it for a professional stance, you can use it for your personal stance. It's a like it's a great platform to use to be able to communicate with a multitude of different people throughout different areas, because it's not, restricted just to the US. You can use it across the board.
mm,
Um, you can use it to live stream in the sense of, watching movies and stuff together with people at the same time. You can do it for
oh, wow.
a platform of just showcasing and having a communal Discord, and then having a discourse amongst multiple people, whether they're on camera or off camera.
Okay,
Um, you can use it to just talk to people and everybody just interacting and chatting back and forth. You can add pictures, you can add videos, you can add links, you can add reactions to posts. There's like a multitude of things. You can
oh,
set up reminders. You can create events. Um, you can set it up to where you'll get notifications on when people go live. Like it could be created for a multitude of things. So I use Discord in the sense of where my community can be able to chat and communicate about different things throughout our streaming experience.
right.
Um,
Do you
so
also, like, outsource this for your therapy talk Thursdays? Because I know you also,
I
yeah,
try to. So in my Discord channel, essentially there's a subcategory for Therapy Thursday. So there's a voice channel for people to be able to join in together and talk about their experiences depending on whatever the topic is. And then there is a text channel where people can chat and talk about the different topics that we've talked about, or they
okay,
can just be able to talk to each other about the different things that's been going on. So I created that channel so that way people can feel comfortable,
mhm,
um, to talk about whatever happened with Therapy Thursday, or just be able to provide suggestions if they want to see certain things on. Um, but overall, I try to make people feel comfortable and welcomed in a general sense, so that way if they ever feel like they want to go that down that route, or they ever feel like something's going on and maybe they don't want to talk about it on Therapy Thursday per se, but they know it's something that can relate back to that topic, so they just put their 2 cents in the channel, and then
mm,
we can discuss it, whether it's us directly talking about it or if they want to discuss it with the community.
wow, I
Yeah.
love that. Okay, I'm gonna move into, mm, I guess I wanna move into the world of, cosplaying for you,
Okay, okay.
and what made you get into that?
Let's see.
And then also,
So,
like, what does it do for you? So, like, I want both of those questions answered.
well, I've always I've always had a love for dressing up and being a personification of someone else, or like, I'm me, but I'm going to pretend or dress up and tap into this other character. So I've always loved dress up and makeup.
Mm,
Which is so funny because people would never guess that because of how I carry myself, or how I've carried myself through the years. For
yeah,
some reason, in other people's heads, it's like, all right, well, you play basketball. And I'm
mm,
like, no, I don't. It's like they see me, and because okay, so like when I'm outside, like this hasn't been the person that you would see outside per se.
okay.
Outside, you would have seen me in some sweats and a hoodie and my ponytail, and like, all right, I'm here.
Oh, so
But
you would have automatically portrayed you as somebody who's maybe, like, more masculine, does masculine things.
yeah,
Okay, that's
and when they see like me as a person go into the locker room and then change into a whole cheer uniform and have like makeup and they're like, what? There's been so many people that have sat here and see me in a full fucking uniform, curly hair and all, and then be like, "Yo, you play basketball?" And then I'll be sitting here confused as fuck, like,
Mm,
"No,
mm-mm.
no."
Yeah.
Like you'll see me full blown like this, and then be like, "Oh yeah, you're a basketball player." I'm like, "Where? Because I'm tall?"
That's wow, the power of perception.
Yo, and sometimes I just feel 50% I feel like it's perception, and then 50% I feel like it's just fucking ignorance. Because it's
It
like,
is. It
you're
is.
an idiot. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Like, I have on a cheer uniform, and you're asking me if I play basketball. Come on. Starting to learn that within the last couple of years of life, but perception is fucking everything. Because that was a whole thing with my fiance. That's a whole nother story in a sense.
Yeah.
But
Oh my gosh. I can't wait for us to have a sit down over that one. I was like, what?
oh, we could definitely we
How
could
many lives you lived?
like it, if people genuinely knew half of the shit that I've actually gone through in comparison to like how I perceive myself or how I talk about things in general, they wouldn't expect the stuff that I've been through. I promise you that.
Of course.
Cuz like when I talk to people about the fact of like my failed my failed engagement, 5-year toxic, abusive, physically and emotionally relationship, like just some of the stuff in general, and then like your abuse in general sense, whether it's physical, emotional, like people just don't perceive me as that person because of how I try to be positive and try to have a positive outlook on life.
Right.
And I appreciate that. But at the same time, it's kind of just like, so because you perceive me as such a happy go lucky person, you just assume that I don't really go through hardship. And that's where it kind of
Yeah.
it can be I wouldn't say frustrating, but just a little disheartening because it's like, oh, well, you can't resonate. And it's like, no, I can resonate more than you realize. I just don't try to carry that on my sleeve. So that's kind of
100%.
how I am when it comes to like cosplay and things like that. It's like, I don't I don't want it to be like the perception of me. Like, oh, well, you're just a cosplayer. Well, oh, you're just a gamer. Oh, you're just a makeup artist or anything, whatever the case may be on however someone perceives me. Like, I don't want them to perceive me as just one thing. And I think that's why I've never been one to focus on just one category. And that's why I like cosplaying in a general sense because it's like you don't have to be just one person. You can be whoever you want to be. So, you may perceive me as one way, but at the same time, I can be whoever you want me to be, or I can be whoever I want to be. It's not that I have to be one particular character or one particular person just because you see me as that.
Right.
So, cosplay is like escaping a reality a little bit without having to compromise the person that you are.
Oh my
That's why
God.
I enjoy
No,
it.
you put that so well. That's
Thank you.
beautiful. No, yeah. Oh my gosh. I didn't think of it from that perspective. I know people, of course, did it. I think in my mind, I thought objectively first. Maybe this is just like the realms of escapism
Yeah.
for most people, and I feel like that's very, very cool too. But I needed an answer for somebody who could really go in depth on what that experience is actually like, because I've never cosplayed, but it's something I
Yes,
would.
you have. Yes, you
Ooh,
have.
okay,
When
okay.
you did you dress up for Halloween?
Oh,
You
I
dressed
guess so. Okay, yeah.
cosplayed.
Okay, yeah. I like that. Okay. So yeah, not bad. So I think I was thinking very small-minded because I'm thinking of how big some of these conventions have gotten. And I
Mhm.
just found out earlier this year that it expands even farther than that. They don't do just anime conventions. They do
Yep.
furry conventions, and I found that out in a very funny way.
They do the spicy conventions with
I know
cosplay.
they do. I know they do.
Mhm.
I know they
I low key wanna try to go to that convention. I mean, I know it's kind
do.
of like, white broadcasted, but low key is like, I'm intrigued.
You are funny. Okay.
Thank you.
Um, I'm down. I feel like that would be a very episodic moment to just sneak into. Cause man, the money they be dropping on those costumes, man. I'm like, my
'Cause I'm
dent my dentist could be a furry, my surgeon could be a
Cause what? Cause what? Why you playing? You probably don't even know it, but they probably
okay,
are. Like what?
they probably are. They probably are. But I would like to go to a convention one day, and I know we talked about that last year when
May.
yeah.
No,
May.
May.
May?
Momo.
May? Okay.
May Momo.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Okay, so yeah, I need to like have like a Resident Evil get up because
You,
I'm always
some, even if it's just like a little anime T-shirt, like something, something.
something. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I wanna go all out. I wanna go all out for it, man. But
We'll
yeah,
we'll talk about it.
we will. We will. I'm glad I have a friend that can talk about those things because I know.
Yes.
Um, but I'm here for that. So now I wanna go into the last question.
Mhm.
The question that we've all been waiting for. If you could build a game based off one of your old jobs, what would it be?
So I feel like it's kind of obvious because we had this discussion. But
We definitely have.
okay, so I'll give two answers so that way it's not just one sided. Because you kind of have heard part of my answer.
Yeah. Yeah, we worked at a dine-in movie theater, and I was a server. Chanel was
A
a
damn good server at that.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Chanel was a concierge, one of the sweetest. Okay, and it's honestly to go into this establishment and her be the first person that you see. It's sort of like, oh my gosh, how welcoming is this? Not knowing that you're gonna get
Some bullshit.
a place that's understaffed, but has some of the funniest people that funniest dysfunctional people you'll probably ever meet.
That is so valid, honestly.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So we had some pretty good features, some pretty good food. I think pretty good food if you're not somebody who frequents them as much as we did, because we obviously work there.
Yeah,
And
that's a
oh
good
my
point.
oh
That's
my
definitely.
gosh. I used to go in the back and sneak these red velvet cookies, chocolate chip. No, no, no. Red velvet. They were sort of like a red velvet cookies in a skillet that had white chocolate chips. And it had like I can't remember what the drizzle was, but I was really,
Wait,
really cool with the chefs. Yeah,
hold on, because you definitely gave me some new insight. Where were the fucking white chocolate chips? Because what?
I believe they had white chocolate chips in them, did they?
What? Where? What?
No, have you not had this special before? Okay, okay. Yeah, we're gonna dive
'Cause
deep into that. So boom, that's basically describing the atmosphere. And when we had movie premieres, the place would be so crowded, you guys. It would feel like we're
depending on the
working
movie. Depending on the movie. But
depending on the
yes,
movie, yeah, it would feel like we were working triple shifts.
that part.
That part for
Color
sure.
Purple? Wait, fuck, you weren't were you there for the Color Purple?
No, I wasn't there for the Color Purple. No, I
Oh my
think I left before Barbie had premiere, and I think way
oh,
no, 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 yeah, I think I left after The Mermaid with The Little Mermaid premiered and
there we go.
before, Barbie had premiered.
Oh, tear. Okay, so you weren't there for all the bullshit with Barbie. Okay, okay.
No, no, I wasn't.
No.
Mm-mm, no, it wasn't, nor why. So I feel like for me, if
Mhm.
I were to base my game off of this experience, obviously the server, um, you get to choose between another server to help you, and like, I guess, running the food services, picking up all the orders in each theater, and you have to do it under a certain amount of time. But the thing is, you have to guess who's the worst server and who's the semi-decent server. And that's the
Listen,
server that's gonna like semi fuck up like every now and then, and you gotta run in behind them to sort of like fix an order type thing. So that's
real life raw.
how that's how the game would be for me. And
Okay.
you have maybe like less than, I don't know, like 5 minutes before you get to the next theater, because that's, for, I think the
That's
like,
not Yeah, that's pretty accurate. I
that's
mean,
pretty accurate. Yeah. I want to
that's
say it had to have been something equivalent to that. Maybe we were given more time, but given how we were understaffed, some of us will have to break away early and go seat other people.
yep.
So
15
there's
minutes is actually valuable.
that.
That makes sense.
So my game would somewhat be similar to Diner Dash, and maybe have a little bit of, maybe there'll be a particular part of the game where I have to like fight off some hecklers and maybe do some refunds.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. So that would be the whole point of the game for me. And then to get a boost, like a health booster or a power up, you have to sneak a shot of liquor in the kitchen. And
I
each
was gonna say a shot of liquor or steal a snack.
there's still a snack. Or pick
Yes,
up an
because
order.
niggas be taking candy and like
Okay.
popcorn chicken and popcorn shrimp and fries like it was water.
Pick up an order that was never given to any of the customers. It's crazy.
Because it's
It's
like
wonderful.
you pick up your snack based off of the order that never got delivered, and then you
Yes.
give the refund on the order you just ate. Literally.
And I think
I never received my food. Oh,
the
really?
whole point of this game feels like you're just supposed to survive
No,
for the
literally.
after
Literally.
fighting wave after wave.
Oh, you know what? See why you playing? So let me build on that for you. Let me build
Okay.
on that. So your
Okay.
objective is to live your life outside of oh
Oh,
shit. To live outside of the movie theater.
right. I'm gonna bleep it out. It'll be so funny to bleep.
So to live outside of
Yeah.
beep. So your goal is to live outside of your job,
Okay.
but you'll have like a goal of a certain amount you have to make, whatever the case, like your rent, your
Right.
utilities, that kind of thing. So you
Okay.
have to find time to serve your purpose or what you want to do. So you have your when you first start the game, you have the category of life that you want to be a part of.
Okay.
So you're choosing like, ooh, I'm an artist, or ooh, I'm a writer. I'm a whatever your outside thing is. The thing your dream job. So you pick your dream job, and then your day job, your real life job is
Mhm.
working at the theater. So once you pick your day job, or like your dream job, you then work your day job and then have to figure out when you can fit time for your dream job. Like literally
This
managing
feels
your real life.
this feels too fucking real. Like
Exactly.
I would quit way
Exactly.
before we
Yeah. So you pick your dream job, then the game is working your day job and figuring out time in between your day job to then feed in some time to your dream job. But the game itself is still working your day job.
How would you even, and then you're beating traffic? Like, what?
I would say let's not make it that complicated.
I'm about to
Like,
say,
we
like,
won't
what
make it
how would
that
the
complicated and
transportation,
having to
how would
figure out transportation, because transportation, oh, it would be a bitch. Some days you're taking Uber, some days you're taking public transportation, some
oh
days you're
my
hitching a ride
gosh.
with a friend. Like,
Luckily for me luckily for me, where I stayed was literally right up the street, but
which was
you know
still
what?
still fucking ironic. Like, what? I
Yeah,
used to live there.
I know. It
This
was
still fucking like this
something
right
to
here
find
is
out.
still
Yeah,
fucking so surreal. Like
yeah.
there's too many connections to the point where it's like, wow.
I
Are you
know.
the boy version of me? But like, are you what I could have been?
That's so hilarious. You know what? We'll definitely have time to talk about that more in depth. But,
Like, but that would definitely be my game. That would be my
Yeah,
game.
that
Like,
would be
it would
something.
be literally a conjunction of your game. And you know what? With concierge in the front, it would be a sense of a meter of your guests' happiness, a meter of their happiness based off of like how you
Oh,
respond.
yeah, before they go in, and then oh,
So,
wow.
ooh, and realistically, mine wouldn't be like a ABC choice. It would be live mic. So whatever you say on the mic, if you bullshitting on the mic, your guest is gonna hear it. So it would be live action on the mic. So it's like, "Hey, how are you?" or "Hi, welcome in." Based off of how you sound and based off of like your greeting and your tone and what you say would be how your customer reacts to you. That would
Uh-uh.
be my game on
Replace the
concierge voice.
industry with robots right now.
So at the end of the day, like if you're not, "Hi, welcome in," welcome to the theater. We're here to, make sure all your needs are serviced. We have a theater, uh, lounge slash restaurant
I'm so glad I don't remember the
and
spiel.
bar all is one. We're a 3-in-1
Mm.
place.
I don't even think we had name tags for real.
We were
I
supposed to. Some people did.
Yeah. I don't think I defied them every step of the way because I was cool and cute, and they let me do any and everything that I wanted in there.
Literally. Cause what?
The privilege, the privilege.
Cause what? Like, if it was a real job based off of like, like getting marks and stuff, I would have been fired.
Yeah,
I know the reality? Fuck yeah.
yeah,
But do I know the reality that I was living in?
yeah,
Fuck yeah. So
yes. It don't even matter because where we're headed, I feel like where we are now, much better. I can
I
definitely
left the company the way the company treated me.
okay.
You
As
gave
it
me no
should.
notice, I gave you no notice. Fine. And you want to know what's really funny? I
Yeah.
told that was how I would leave.
Mm,
Not
okay.
I made sure to clarify that. So I was like, when I leave, I leave. So
Gotta respect it. But um,
could it have been more respectful? Yes.
we're definitely headed in a better direction. Yeah, we're
Yes.
definitely headed in a better direction, as streamers, as entrepreneurs, and
As
with that being
people.
said, yeah, as people in general, I'm looking forward to the contributions you and I will make just by simply being decent people, um, mindful and considerate. And I think the further that we do go onward from what I want to call it, I guess this project, this passion project, um, I'll be looking forward to see how it's shaped one another's lives because I know how I use this gaming pedagogy and it's definitely gave me some noticeable efforts in so many different aspects of my life, including personal. And I'm looking forward to seeing how it can benefit you in so many different ways as well. So if you guys are watching, which I know you guys are, okay,
We
crossing
know
our fingers,
we know you're watching.
we know you're watching. We know you're watching. It's okay. Come on in. Okay? We're cool people. We're funny,
We
I
don't
think.
bite. It's okay.
Right. It's completely fine. Like, come on in. Um,
I will say like my other 2 senses like in the sense of when we treat ourselves better in the sense of what we're doing and how we're doing it too.
yeah. You know, because I am a firm believer in having a good intro relationship is how you have an even better relationship with everyone else. And
Yeah.
me and Chanel rekindled. I mean, it's not as if we were ever apart, but life got in the way, and you know how that goes.
Yeah.
We were definitely mirroring um, one another in regards to where we were in our relationships with our community. And it turns out that we were being isolated for a reason, that we
Yeah.
definitely needed to work on self validation a little bit more because no one's going to push you to do it. I feel like there should be people to do it. But I think the more
Yeah.
you're open and honest, and it's just true, the more you're open and honest about your experience, you learn what your greatest strengths are when you don't have the support you need.
Yeah.
And I'm just hoping that you all take what we say at face value, the more that we do become more open and talking about these experiences. But
Hmm.
to know that it's manageable. And again, using the gaming pedagogy, using a game in a solution based way will let you know that these situations aren't as complex as we make them out to be. There's
Hmm.
101 ways to solve something. I promise you guys. Truly
Hmm.
is.
Yeah.
So thank you, Chanel. Thank you so, so much.
Thank you for having me.
We're gonna get off here and we're gonna play Overwatch.
Hmm. We
We
about to
also
use
got
what we said.
okay. We also got mental health night tonight. She's featuring me as a guest. And so
Therapy Thursday.
yes. I made the flyer. Go check it out, guys. Our handles are
Chai Booski.
right.
I'm Chai underscore Booski on Instagram. My Chai Booski is my personal page. So if you don't see as much cosplay and things on that page, that's why.
Yeah. She'll be getting into it more because I'm gonna be pushing her to do it. Okay. I'm gonna be pushing her.
Yes, yes. I'm here for it. I need the motivation. I need it.
We're each other's accountability buddy. So
Yes.
my at is Green DeVoe. That's pretty much the same handle across everything.
This
Um
is on my side. I don't know what it's gonna be on your
yeah.
side. So
It's
I'm
gonna
gonna just, you know.
you had it right the first time. Yep, yep. So it's gonna be the same handle for Twitch and Discord if I ever do anything on Discord, but most certainly Twitch for sure. I would like to do something on Twitch.
So just go ahead and copy and paste and he'll be on there like today.
Absolutely,
We're
for sure.
gonna create the page today because I didn't know he didn't have one. So
I did. I mean, I have one. It just needs to be active. You know, we're working
so
on it.
wait,
Act
so what's your handle on there right now? Is
Green
it
DeVoe. Yes, Green DeVoe.
oh so yeah, all right. So go
Yeah,
ahead and follow.
yeah. Follow
Go
us
ahead.
both. Follow us both. Okay.
No, follow him first, and then follow me. Follow him first. Follow him first. I already have a community. We gotta get his started. So follow
For
him
sure.
first.
For sure. The
Follow him
ghost.
first. And if you see him more in my community, it's because we're building his. We're building what conjoined
Join together the arc.
the arc.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Um, hope to see you guys soon.
We'll see you soon.